Are we live? Are we there? We are.
Are we live?
Hello. Happy
Wednesday.
February
6th.
Happy whatever day we are on. We're glad you're here.
Yeah,
It's kind of, all right. Are we set?
We are set. We're ready to go.
It's kind of hard to get to. So, I am Angie Taylor.
Michelle Lenenberger.
We are discussing parenting, and really what even qualifies us to talk about this topic is 25 years of education. Actually, I don't know how qualified we really are. However,
we're not doctors, we're not psychologists, but we're parents.
No, actually,
educators.
I was actually thinking of this the other day because I've always wanted to get my doctorate and finish that up.
Sure.
But in the reality, having been to school a lot and having a higher degree, the reality is pretty much everything I've really learned about kids and education and how to work with them and be successful with them has happened
life experience.
So more outside of the classroom or
Best
the books.
Teacher.
I've done a ton of reading on it, but quite frankly, it's experience, and it's the opportunity again to watch kids from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade for 20 plus years. It's really exciting to see that process play out, and then to watch kids go into adulthood.
Oh, yeah.
And see how they soar there, and to have our own kids do that. So anyway, it's February.
Yes, it is.
So
love month.
Love month. So you told me. And so we thought we would discuss today
about relationships
with your kids. I think when they're young, it feels, I don't know, I think everybody's different. I was going to say it feels easy. That when they're young, it's cute and easy because they still think you're so amazing and you're the hero. And then you're somewhere in that 6th, 7th, 8th grade range,
they know more than you. You don't know it all.
Somewhere, what they develop the ability to do?
Think.
Well,
opinions.
No, they think much earlier than that.
Yes, they do.
But in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you know what happens with their eye development is they now can do this. And it they can't that actually develops at middle school.
It's well, I've seen it younger than that. But
yes, I'm just kidding.
But a lot of times it totally starts from home. It starts with mom and dad. How does mom and dad communicate to each other? Like the way I communicate. Do I roll my eyes when my husband says something it's like, oh, brother, the body language, the rolling of the eyes, these kids pick it up. And if you're not talking to your spouses, with respect and honor, these kids pick it up. Yeah. Or anyone else, whether you're frustrated at the grocery store with a clerk or somebody, how you respond is what they are learning to do.
Completely. Well, it is, and it is interesting because I found how for my girls in particular, how I allow someone to treat me. So because in a marriage you're always working on your marriage, and you're always working to grow, and you're always working. But the reality is even as my husband and I were young and learning how to love each other effectively, and while it was really important when I felt run over in our relationship, and this is true for him as well, that we had those conversations, right? That, hey, we are teaching our kids how we treat each other, and because how my husband treats me is how my girls can expect to be treated by a man in their life.
Yep.
And that is
huge.
Everything. It's not what we say to our kids. It is their environment and your home informs them. And so the very first thing is definitely, if you are married, we definitely have some single parents that are not in the same situation, but if you are married, learning and having that open dialogue, and my husband and I would have that conversation quite often about, our girls and our son, by the same token, this goes for
both.
For both. You know, the
Yeah.
reality is if I'm a wife that rants and raves on my
Right.
husband and like manipulates and gets my way, my son learns that that's what he should look for
That's normal
in a spouse, right?
And when dads, when they take time with their girls and show them how special they are, even boys, like my husband would take my kids all on dates, where it was just one-on-one, a chance for them just to spend time, quality time, and he would even take them out of school and they'd go do something special. That my daughters knew and my son knew that, okay, this is our time, this is special. And the way, if dads, or something about a dad and a daughter, if they can really have an awesome relationship, they're going to look for that in their husband or in their mate, and when they're secure, and expect it. And the same with sons and moms. There's just a special relationship, but you have to nurture.
I checked. Check. Are you learning all about parenting today with those fine young lads of yours? Sorry, didn't mean to get distracted.
No. He's a grandpa now, right?
No.
Oh, not different. Oh, check. CrossFit.
We miss you, Chuck.
Sorry.
Clearly.
Yes, we haven't been.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I think the big thing is first the relationships that you receive in your life. Your kids understand how they can behave.
Yes.
Or what they can expect in their lives. But then the second is how, and I see this. We do see this sometimes in the school, how a parent speaks to a kid. You know, if you're annoyed with your kid, if you're frustrated with your kid, often because they're our child, we ourselves will speak to them in tones that are incredibly disrespectful or incredibly demeaning. You know, and it could, I always have I always think, and this is critical for a parent, would you, hello, my friend.
Hi.
Hello.
God bless you.
6 weeks.
Oh. I always have the conversation in my own head of, there's a lot of voices up here. Would you talk to somebody else this way?
Exactly.
Or would you ever tolerate having somebody
talk to you?
Because I've done that where I've heard myself say something to one of my kids and like and you hear it and you're like,
would I talk to anyone else that way? Or would I want to be talked? No.
And so I think a lot of times parents expect and wish their kids would be honoring and respectful for them. The first thing you got to start with is when I talk with you, am I talking with you in honoring and respectful ways? Or do I just see it like I can just say whatever I want because I'm irritated with you?
And children, they're just little people. And they need to be treated as such, respected. Just because we're adults and they're children, they shouldn't be disrespected. We need to treat them with the same respect and honor that we do our peers. And and they're learning. They're learning how to treat others by the way we treat them.
Yeah.
No, it's...
Yeah, well, and I think here's a big one we see all the time. I'm guilty of it. I'm trying really hard to improve this on my own life, is this.
I hate that. Yeah.
Right? Where a family member's talking to us and we're like, yeah. Which I'm going to be honest, my family knows if I'm on my phone, I
don't talk to you.
Well, I can't, like, I literally cannot. I'm impressed with the people that think they have the ability to do both.
It shows them that they're not as important.
Yeah.
I got my phone. Oh, you're talking, you're saying something, but you're not that important for me to put my phone down.
Again, the first piece of relationship always starts with honor and respect.
Absolutely.
It always starts with honor and respect. And our kids take their cues on how they will behave towards other people with how we've treated them. Right. So that's a big one. The phone thing is a really big one.
Huge.
Something that I've seen a number of times, and this is like, if you've done this, totally fine. It's in the past, but I would just beg parents to stop. Like when you've disciplined your kid and let's say you did it well, like I've seen disciplines that I'm like, you know what, that was a good discipline. The bummer to me is that it was posted on all social media to see, because that's shaming and embarrassing.
And they don't need to post all your kids' mistakes.
Well, no, and the you know, the Bible tells us, and I love this verse, that love actually covers a multitude of sins. That like when we love well, we are constantly in the covering. You know, I look at my home, my kids, my relationship with my husband is very sacred.
Yes.
And so because it's sacred, those are places that I don't expose our family to social media. And I mean, if you follow me, I'm very active on social media, but I have a guard around,
as we should,
our kids on that space. They should know when we correct you, we're correcting you for a purpose, to a future,
and out of love.
But literally the first point for the entire basis of a healthy relationship with your kid is honor. It really is. It's honor among the adults in the home, that we are respecting and honoring. And I know some situations, like, it takes two people to make a marriage work.
Right.
But working so hard to be someone that is honoring and respectful.
It sets them up for success for life, because it is a lifelong. If you can teach your kids honor and respect, that's huge. And even the Bible talks about when you're honoring your parents, you will live a long, good life, because that's how important it is. And not just your parents, but the elderly, your each
But it
other.
really starts with me modeling that behavior.
Yes.
And I think sometimes as parents, we let ourselves off the hook when it comes to how we behave with our kids, when we're annoyed or frustrated with them, or if they don't clean something well,
the way we want them to,
you know, just
it's not good enough.
right, which is hard. Like, if my kids are watching this, they'd be like,
Mom.
Really, Mom? I haven't gotten this right. I would tell you, in watching kids, you can really see the kids that are well balanced, and the kids that are healthy, and the kids that are the kids that you're pointing at going, why isn't my kid like that? Well, start with, how are you honoring and setting boundaries for your kid in really healthy ways around
how do you respond to them, and just your whole communication. Be intentional. Think about it. Don't just react. Don't just get frustrated. But when Stephanie was little, she they need to know that you trust them and respect them, and it's amazing how they themselves will realize, wow, I really messed up. We were talking, and I heard her say, which wasn't like her, because we always, taught about respecting and how you talk to people. And I heard her under her breath say, whatever. Like,
that's my favorite.
You did not just say that. But I didn't know 100% that she said that. I thought, I think that's what she said. And so I called her on it, and I said, hey, what'd you say to me? Nothing. So anyway, so we kind of had a little, I said, well, I think this is what you said. And no, I didn't. And so I'm like, okay. And when I told her, I said, okay, you know what? I'm not 100% sure you said that. But if you say you didn't, I believe you. I believe you. And I said, that's between you and God. And she was probably 10, I don't know, maybe 9. And so then probably 10 minutes later, she comes up the stairs and she goes, Mom, I deserve a spanking. I'm like, why? She goes, I lied, and I did say whatever. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to spank you. I appreciate you for being honest. And I knew, because the way she was raised, because of what we taught her, she would come back, and there's that honoring respect. I wasn't trying to manipulate her, but she knew.
Yeah, but I would say this. So if you're like, great, that's great that you trained your kid like that from the get-go. I have kids that are teens. I've dealt with divorce. I've dealt with, like, we haven't hit it right. And now my kid is like this attitude with legs.
Yes. Yep.
Here's what I would encourage you to do. When it's not in a heated moment, is start inserting into your day natural practices for super open, honest conversations about this, because here's what I would, again, where put something in your day every day, like exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, I am giving you a shout out on the exercise. Hey, big shout out, Chuck Gonzalez, CrossFit, woohoo! But put something in your day every single day that is intentional.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to have open communication time with you, and it's not a time where I'm correcting you or fixing you on a behavior. It's a time where I'm getting to know your heart.
Yes.
I'm getting to hear you and understand you, because when your child feels like you hear them and they understand them, which are all pieces of honor, when they feel like you are in their corner, then when you do need to correct them, you are helping them be corrected to a certain behavior. So in our home, I have a 25-minute drive into school every day. That is 100% time. We turn the radio off, and I'm really intentional about trying to pull from Eden. Hey, what are you grateful for today? What are the intentions of your day? And then just going from there and letting the conversation unfold, and not having it be somewhere where I feel like I need to instruct her, but a time where I just need to know her and hear her heart.
Yeah, no lecturing and just.
That's like, there's so much. Fortunately, we have an entire month here to talk about this topic, but that's where I'd start by saying, first, how are you honoring the people in your home? How are you putting down your phone? Are you, even if it's a short amount of time, like for us, it's 25 minutes in the morning, and then absolutely no phones at the dinner table at night. But like inserting into your day really natural pieces where your number one goal is to honor your child and to just hear their heart and get to know them. It is amazing the difference that makes in relationships. When kids are in trouble at school and they end up getting sent to my office, honestly, if I will just sit and start the conversation with, hey, tell me what's going on with you, and genuinely concerned about their well-being and hearing them, because we all want to be heard.
Yes,
like again, Rochelle said this, it's worth repeating. They are little people. They are little versions of you. You want to be heard. You want to be respected. You want somebody to consider you, right? And to find joy in you.
Just in you. And
sometimes as a parent, in our busyness and our stress with our jobs, we miss that piece. So the first thing you're going to do this month is go, what's this time every single day I'm going to choose to demonstrate love and honor to my child, and see what a difference that will make in your day. For me, before we get to school, we always pray together. That's one of our things.
That's what
Where
every
are you?
single
Because there's
day.
something powerful about them hearing your heart in prayer. So
absolutely.
Anything else?
That was a practice my mom did with me every day, and that's what I did with my kids every single day.
It's a gift.
Pray together, and it's amazing.
I still call my mom.
The tone.
I literally
Me
still
too.
call my mama and say, Mom, can you pray for
Me
me?
too. Yeah.
So those are great patterns.
And having your kids listen to your heart as you're praying gives them peace and comfort, knowing that, man, she's talking to God about me. You know.
Yep. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. We'd love to hear your questions. If you enjoyed this at all, follow us, like us, share us with your friends. We're excited about the process. I think we're excited about the things we're talking about this month, but always look forward to hearing your questions, and thanks for joining us. Have a very blessed Monday. Go out and love somebody.
Or two.
Or two.